Hi, this is CJ, and today I'll be talking to you about 10 questions that an interviewer cannot ask an interviewee due to the fact that these questions can be used as evidence of discrimination or a violation of the Employment Equity Act. And if it's a female employee, potential employee, sorry, you cannot ask that employee if she is pregnant, as again, it can be viewed as evidence of discrimination if you don't hire that employee if she said yes. Religious affiliation, no, that's a no-no. You cannot ask that question because your bias can come into play for not hiring that individual. Um, Another one is what is their political affiliation. Your bias again could come into play if you don't like that political party that this person is affiliated with. Um, and then if you don't hire that individual, they can actually view it as being evidence of discrimination based on the fact where they did mention to you about their um, religious affiliation. Another one is race for their race or color, ethnicity. You can't ask that question as the Employment Equity Act requires employers to hire people not to discriminate against people based on their race, based on their race, visible minority, Aboriginal people, and women, etc. So you can, if you're doing an interview over the phone, you can ask those are questions you cannot ask someone because you might just violate the Employment Equity Act. Or old are you, even though you'd love to know that, because again, thinking about training is expensive. And what if this individual is just, I'm going to be training them and they're going to be working just 2 years or whatever, whatnot, and then they're going to be going on off on retirement. So you can't ask those questions. Sorry. Sorry about that, but no, you can't ask. Those are questions that you cannot ask a potential employee. You cannot ask a potential employee if they are disabled. You can describe the job at hand. If the individual shows up in, say, a wheelchair, then of course it's blatant that this person is has a disability. However, if this person already know the job that the task required and they're still applying for the job, it means that they already know that they can still perform the job at hand. So you can explain the job, and you can, if it's a job that they're going to have to do a bit of traveling, you can explain the job to the individual, find out how they're going to be getting back and forth, and if they have everything, they have the plans, they have all the plans and whatnot to go to the job, to get to the job back and forth, then of course there's no problem. You can hire that individual because you cannot discriminate based on disability. And you cannot ask an individual if they're married or not. That has nothing to do with the job at hand, and it's none of your business. You cannot ask if they have children. Again, your bias could come into play where you're going to think that, oh, they're going to be taking time off for babysitting or sick days if the child is sick, or etc. So no, that's if they volunteer the information, but you can't document it to use it to make your final cut. But at least it's in your head already, yes, because the person volunteered the information, but you cannot bring your bias into it to not hire this individual. Are you in debt? That's another question that you can't ask. However, I don't know if in when it has to do, if it has to do with finance, if the person is going to be working in finance, because a friend of mine was working in the, well, he got a job. He got a position in the bank. He was told to come to work on the Monday, and he was given the position on Friday. And the bank, it was a major bank in Canada, and they ran his credit. And then Monday morning when he showed up to work, they told him that they they pulled the job pretty much, so he never got the job. He told me it was because they run his credit and his credit was bad. I don't know if they told him that and if it's legal to do or not, but that's why he did not get the job. And it may be because it's finance, it's in the bank, and so maybe there's some loophole legalities there where they can get away with doing that. So but in any case, if it's just if it's not to do with money and it's not finance, then yes, you can't discriminate based on that. You can't ask a potential employee if they have a drinking problem or if they smoke. Yes, again, companies would love to know this. Smoke breaks nowadays, a lot of employees take a lot of smoke breaks. Other employees get angry because they have to be stuck doing the work because they don't smoke. So I know all the problems that goes along with that, but you can't discriminate based on the fact where if someone smoke or not. Drink. Yes, again, people would drink on the weekend and then not show up to work on Monday because of hangovers and whatnot. But you can't ask that question if they drink or not and discriminate against them based on that. So those are the 10 questions that an interviewer cannot ask the interviewee, even though we would love to know the answer to a lot of these questions, but we cannot ask. You can use diplomacy. You can be diplomatic about it and find out a lot of things. HR usually knows how to be very diplomatic about that, but you can flat out ask someone, and you cannot discriminate based on the Employment Equity Act, especially that we have here in Canada. So those are the 10 questions that you cannot ask a potential employee. Someone asked me a few things, so I figured, well, I'll just throw it out there, and I hope it helps somebody who is going to be a company or an interviewer who is planning all their interview questions for their potential workers. I hope this helped, and please let me know if you have any other questions. You can just drop me a line and let me know. I will try my best to answer any other questions that you guys have. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, and please like and share this video. If there's a company that this can help, please share it with them. Thanks again for watching and for listening, and this is CJ.